Assalamualaikum and hi. Let's begin our lecture 17 on network management. Roles of the network manager. Normally computers need to be managed so that it can function properly at all times. So in most big organizations, they will hire a team of network specialists, normally led by a network manager or a network administrator. So their function is actually to acquire the right technology to support the organization's need and to make sure that the network is working properly. So how to acquire the right technology is actually through the software and the hardware. So first, they have to analyze the requirement of the organization, and then they will determine the suitable vendors, right, with the technological consideration and the business consideration. We have seen the Internet Protocol suites before with 4 layers. Software and hardware requirement. To support the Internet Protocol suite, there is a need for network software and hardware. So with the host, the most important hardware requirement is the Network Interface Controller, NIC. So in a modern PC, NIC is a chip installed on the motherboard, meaning that they are built in the motherboard. How will you set up a LAN? We need equipment such as hub or switch and cables. If you see here, how would you connect printers and computers within a LAN? You need to have an Ethernet switch. You need to have a cable. You can decide whether you want to use the UTP cable. You can use the 10 base T, 10 base F, depending on the organization needs. So this diagram shows you the simple LAN setup. If you have a printer, you have laptop and desktop within an organization. You can also do this at home if you have five laptops and desktop to be connected to a printer. You can also set up a wireless LAN. So what you need is actually a wireless hub or a switch, also known as Wi-Fi access point, WAP. How do you connect to the internet? So normally you need to have a modem to connect directly to the internet service provider. For example, by using the digital subscriber line, DSL. But nowadays you can actually connect directly to 3G or 4G network. So how would you connect LAN to internet? What do you need? Is a router or a hub, a switch can be connected to a modem, which is then connected to internet service provider. So you have to see in this, you have to have all these devices in order to connect to the internet service provider. For your computers, you have a router, you have a modem, and then going to DSL to the internet. For one setup, such as ATM, we need ATM switches. ATM backbone can be established by connecting all ATM switches using fiber optics. For a long distance, we can use fiber optic connection provided by common carrier, such as TM, Maxis, Digi. So there are many manufacturers or suppliers for ATM switches. In this diagram, this is an example of the switches. We also need to have the network software, which is this application software to support for TCP/IP protocol services. Windows-based host. For a computer running Windows operating system, the TCP/IP protocol services is provided by the TCP/IP driver, which is located in the operating system kernel. And users need to set up the TCP/IP by using the network setup application. Windows-based host. Programming interface to TCP/IP is provided through Windows Socket 2, Winstock. It is provided by Windows as a dynamic link libraries file. So Winstock follows the Windows open source architecture. It is designed for use by C or C++ programmer, and you can obtain the explanation example of programs from MSDN web pages. So we have the 4 layers, TCP/IP layers. We have application layer software, and you have the Windows sockets. You have the transport and internet, the TCP/IP protocol driver provided in the Windows kernel, and you'll have the network interface controller in the network access layer. For Unix-based hosts, TCP/IP Internet Package was bundled with BSD Unix. It is also implemented in the Unix kernel since 1984. So this is how computer is organized with the software and the hardware, and the operating system, if you can see inside the kernel mode, is actually the layer interacting with the hardware. For Unix-based hosts, the basic TCP/IP configuration consists of assigning a host name, an IP address, a network mask to a given network interface card. So you can dig more information in this URL. What is a daemon? TCP service can be obtained by using sockets. Each socket has a socket number or address consisting of IP address and a 16-bit number called a port. A daemon is a process that opens a certain port and waits for incoming connections. Most all installations run Internet daemon that act as a super server that can listen all of the ports simultaneously. So this is a sample command. How to make network works properly? You have congestion control and the quality of service. Please watch this video for congestion control. What is congestion control? It is when too much traffic at one time. Congestion sets in and performance degrades sharply. Meaning that if more and more people actually accessing the internet, the traffic will become high.